moving on to this board, we're going to show you some dummy boards real quick. First thing you need to do is mark the center of your board. And you do that with one of these. And you measure the length.
What's it called, David?
Oh, this is the combination square. But you can do it with the tape measure or whatever you need to do. So this one's 10 inches wide, so I'll mark 5 inches. And
always compensate for the thickness of the pen or whatever it is you're using.
Oh, I'll show you how to do. You always go from the opposite side too.
And split the difference?
Yep, so that middle line is the very center.
So always use both sides of the deck to determine your center point.
Yes. So you want to get the center line first, and then you're going to want to determine where your trucks are going to be. So on these, let's just say they're going to be, oh, that's wrong side. Let's see, our trucks are going to be here, and we generally do a 4x4 square to determine where the trucks are. So I'll do 4 inches long, and then we'll do, let's see. So there's our truck. It's going to have holes somewhere in there. So when we know where our truck is at, we know where we're not going to be cutting. So here's a couple things you don't want to do when you're cutting out your deck. And this is also things to keep in mind for the design phase as well. So on paper. So you want to avoid having, so let's say this is going to be cut out deck. And we're going to have it so it just comes off like this. And oh, say we want to have some like fancy double back here, and we want to have it so it goes some crazy shape, you know, whatever. Okay, the problems we're going to have here is, keep in mind right here, so there's a base plate here. There's a thing of metal right here. So between these 2 points, it cannot flex at all. Because it's not flexing here, it's going to put it all that flex at the ends, which means that this end of the neck is going to be a weak spot. So we want to keep transitions like this further away from the neck if we can. The other mistake is we've got this sharp corner here, and what that's going to do is that's going to pent up stress right at this one point, which is really close to this point. And so right here there's going to be a ton of stress, and it's going to be flexing like there. It's going to be flexing there like crazy. The other thing, of course, is look how narrow we've got in the center. That is, of course, way too narrow. That's only about 3 inches. I would not go more than, you know, an inch in the center. The thing about the center is, the center is where most of your weight is and where most of the flex is happening. So you want the center of the deck to be as wide as you can make it. And if you do put transitions in the center, you want to make them even. You don't want to have it so that it comes to a point. So if we do that, then we got a hot spot here and a hot spot here, and they're right in the center of the deck, which is flexing the most. So there's a couple problems right there. So overall, the thing you want to keep in mind about the flex of your deck is you want to be flexing evenly along the whole length of it. All right, so here's another demonstration for you. So you want even flex, I showed you that. But there's going to be places and things that are going to be part of the deck that are going to cause the flex to be stiffer, like the truck being on the deck, or the fact that it's wider. Wider places are going to flex less than narrower places. So if you can see on this demonstration here, I've got the big block of wood that's going to keep it from flexing evenly. As I press it, as you can see, look, there's no stress on this side, got a ton of stress just right here, and it's not very even at all. So, you know, the goal is as even flex as you can get. So, normally what we do is we have a circle template, and I typically use this little filler can for mine, and I go over all the edges and I make sure there's no radius that is smaller than my can. That's smaller, that's smaller. So instead of having all these sharp corners, everything is transitioning around radiuses, which will help it flex a whole lot more evenly and keep it from developing these high stress points. Moving on, I've trimmed the sides. I've got an idea of what I want. The one thing I don't have on this is the wheelbase that I want, but how we generally work on things is we just are going to maximize the wood we've got, and so that is our blank size determines our wheelbase size, is generally how we go about it. So I'm going to start marking out the deck, and I'm going to be using Sharpie because I'm filming and I want you to be able to see it. But you're probably going to want to use pencil so you can erase, and so that you're not, because the ink will saturate into the wood, and so you can't sand it off very well. So go along the whole length. That'll be a truck box. It's going to be 4 inches long. There we go. There's our truck. So, about here. That looks about here. And I'm just going to... It's 8.5. 8.5. Now here's the fun thing that we figured out. To make long curves, what we figured out to do, I can do it with one hand, is actually line up the two ends and mark it. Line up the two ends. Hey, look at that. So we got two curves there. And let's see. So 23 inches in. 23 inches in. Here. Here. There we go. So where's it going to? It's going to about here. Eight and 3/4. So just line up here, here, and here. It looks pretty good. Okay, so leaving off or starting off again. So I just finished making these big long transitions here, and I'm going to start with this transition here, which is going to go to the tail. So the tail is going to be, of course, following that curvature, and I got another template here, which is going to be. We got to do this first. So it's always tangential. You go up to the edge of the line it up, and you just continue the line around the can. And I usually just do first full circles, and you don't have to measure. You don't have to measure any other point along the can, because as long as it's tangential, the circle will always be in the same place. There we go. So then, so we want a big circle like that. Can't go into there, can we? Let's try to do it like right here. Keep just away from it. Okay, there we go. There we go. Oops. There we go, that's that shape. So this is kind of interfering with the trucks a little bit. You see it goes into our square, which would be around here. So with other Planet trucks, we need something where this neck alongside here, so this is the other Planet truck base plate. For other Planet trucks, we need this area to have no wood on it. So because the fact, see right here, it's got wood here, and over here, it's got wood here, so this would not fit other Planet trucks. But this will fit other trucks. And this will fit a narrower base plate like a Randall or whatever here. So this is not designed around other Planet trucks, this is just designed as a demonstration. So I did miss these two corners up here. Round these off. And there we go. This full length here. And hey, look at that. It's ready to start being cut out. And something to notice, I'm not making a template and then flipping it over and drawing the other side. So these, the right and the left aren't going to be perfectly symmetrical. And when I'm actually making a board for someone, I go and make sure that they are symmetrical. But when I'm making a board for myself, I don't bother because no one's going to notice and you're not going to see it. And if you do notice, it's only going to be because you're the one that made the deck. So it looks pretty symmetrical right now. And once I cut it out, something might come up and I'll be able to address it at that time. So, but I think it's ready to cut out.